Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm glad to be here. So we at Siemens, we say we make things that make things. So it's not the obvious what we do. It's the energy you consume in the morning when you use your shaver or your toothbrush. It's the water you use in the shower in the morning. It's the train you take to work, or it's a car you drive. So the question is, what's the impact of digitalization on that? How is data helping with that? I read in the newspaper a couple days ago, data is a new oil. So what does it mean? What does it also mean for the UAE? So I would like in the next 10 to 15 minutes to go through with you the importance of data and the impact manufacturing has on it, or the impact data has on manufacturing. And the example I'm going to give you is a very common car here. It's a Maserati. Not that common in Germany, but very common here. We used to have 4 megatrends in the world which are changing everything. It was demographic change, people are getting older, services need to be changed, the climate is changing. We've seen that here in the last days in the Middle East. Globalization is clear, there are huge FDIs. And urbanization is changing. Cities like Dubai are appearing everywhere in the world. People are moving away from the villages. And then there's a new transformation. There's a new impact which is making a difference. And this is the digital transformation. It's the amount of data which is coming up and which is changing everything. We all have tons of data, even our private life. We get so much we don't even know what to do with it. But who of us is really, honestly, working with our connected devices? Who is managing your connected devices on a day-to-day basis? Who is getting something out of it? Creating value out of this. I think this is a big thing we need to work on. There are companies who have done that, things which have completely changed our life, and they're always the same examples. So we've seen them in the last 2 slides. It's the experience. I'm using the experience word. It's the experience how you buy books, how you read books, how you listen to music. You don't own it anymore. You just want to enjoy it. You want to have it for the moment. It's the way that you look for a service you're getting, and also the way that you want to know the taxi driver where you are standing and you don't want to explain him the street name. So those are all changes which we have in our consumer life. All of us experience this. So Siemens is a B2B company. We work with clients all around the world, with hundreds of clients in the UAE, and we did a research, and those research is based on the Middle East, with 3 focus countries, UAE, Qatar, and Saudi. And we asked our clients how far they are in the digitalization process. And I've just taken for today 3 of the key figures out of here. So the awareness is good. First of all, 85% of the people believe that digitalization will help them in the decision-making process and will help them to become more efficient. 85%. So that's something good. Now we've looked into this, the IoT platform, something you need where you upload your data, where you manage your data, so that you ensure that you make something out of your data. Only 1/3 of the companies, and those are all companies here in the Middle East, they're with us, right? This is a reality check. Believe that this is an important trend. So this is already showing that there is a call for action. And then we asked the customers, how far do you believe you are in the stage of the digital transformation? And this number was surprising me. It's 3%. 3% of the clients believe they're in an advanced stage of the digital transformation. So this sees that the digital transformation will be an evolution in the companies, right? People talk about revolution. We believe it's going to be an evolution because it's going to be step by step. You're going to walk this through. So if you make things, if you're in the manufacturing area or in the design area, we want to take you to a concept how we at Siemens are doing this. So we believe when you think about digitalization, when you think about how can you cope up with the changing environments, you have to do it across the whole value chain, how you develop a product. So we have 5 steps. You design a product, you plan a product, you engineer the product, then you actually produce a product, and then you have the service. And here comes now the new thing, the digitalization in the game. We call it the digital twin. So for whatever you have, there is a digital twin. It's a real world and it's a virtual world. And how you really gain efficiency out of this is if you merge this. So what you need in your production processes when you make a new product, when you think about a new product, you always need to have this digital twin because you start doing this product at your PC. So you start designing the product, and then if you're in design phase, you can simulate. And this is the beauty of it. So you can simulate the whole 5 processes. What we're doing with ADNOC, when they think about how they build their refineries, today you design the refineries in a way that it's easy to service, so that you know, okay, this is a part which breaks, so we need to make sure it's easy to get there. Or the sound design. I will talk about the Maserati later. How you close the door. The sound, what you want to have when you close the door, is that you have a good feeling and you enjoy it. This is all simulated, right? You have sound design. And those are all things you do prior to ever having produced one of this car. In the past, you did prototyping, right? And you build a car and you've hidden it somewhere. So nowadays, it's all about the simulation, about the digital twin. But it's also learning and going forward. So when you produce a car, that all the changes you make, they will already go back to the digital twin so that you have a good database. We have this database called Teamcenter, which is an open platform then, which is used in the companies. On top of it, so what's important is the IoT platform. And this is MindSphere with us, and we work with IBM Watsons together. But this is also an opportunity for the SME companies, for companies to get those data which we have from the manufacturing. And this is not a manufacturing example. This data could also come from infrastructure. It could come from trains. It could come from shopping centers, from escalators, elevators, wherever you have sensors. And this open IoT system gives the opportunity that you can team up together with companies, build apps, analyze the data, and create value out of this data. Whatever it is, if it's a seamless ride from A to B, or if it's the purchasing experience, and so on. So MindSphere is on top of it. It's the IoT system, and it gets all the data. And we use this already every day with the windmills, how you increase the efficiency, that you know already the day before, how strong will be the wind, so yet you can generate more. It's the factories, it's the sensors, it's the escalators and the elevators. In the past, you used to have it in shopping malls that escalators were blocked. Nowadays, you know already, okay, the escalator will break in 2 days because you need to exchange products, so you do preventive maintenance. So those are topics where you can easily utilize the data and the knowledge you have and really create benefits. And this is a great opportunity for companies to get on this data, provide services in the industrial, in the infrastructure area, and really work on an open IoT platform. One of the examples we have, and it's a very traditional one, most of you have probably been traveling with public transportation in Europe, and it's a very common thing. The problem in Europe, what we have, especially in Germany, trains are too late. They are hardly on time. So now we had a performance contract, Siemens with the rail company in Spain, and they ask us that we have to do, if we want to get our money, we have to be 99.9% on time within the 15 minutes. Because a lot of those guys have an airport connection, so they need to catch a plane. And how did we do that? We did that with additional sensors which you have and all the parts which could break. Would it be at the brakes? Would it be at the doors? Simple things, the doors don't close correctly. So with the sensors, you even knew when the sound was weird. Okay, you checked those things preventively, And with that, you could ensure that you achieved those targets. So this is taking the data which is here today and which has been there in the past, but you have algorithms, your analytics, and analyze the data so that it creates real value to the customer. One very prestige client came to us, and they are building cars. And they used to build a couple of cars, not mass production like Toyota and Toyota or Volkswagen or General Motors. So it's Maserati. And Maserati asked us, okay, can you help us to produce better cars? Can you help us to produce cars which don't break, which have a very high quality standard, like the mass production cars, but which still have the Italian sense? And we went through with them for the 5 steps. And the new Maserati Ghibli, which came out a couple 3 years ago or 2 years ago, we've put on this new foundation. So we've shortened the development time by 30%. For the first time with Maserati, you have tons of options, so you have 70,000 different combinations of your Maserati. And on the same production line, you can produce 3 times more cars. And how have we done this? We have done this because we have simulated the process. We have simulated the different steps the car goes through before we've ever once produced the car. So that's the power of data. If you really look through the whole value chain of a car or of a product, from the design, from the planning, from the engineering, execution, and for sure also the service. So I'm going to finish up with a small video from...
Passion becomes an element of planning, executed in efficient, high-quality manufacturing processes. Maserati combines the virtual and real world. From design to planning and manufacturing, to the analysis of the whole process, everything is digital. This improves competitiveness and makes tradition future-proof. Together with its customers, Siemens makes real what matters.
Good. Thank you very much. I think it's all about co-creation. It's about not just knowing where the oil is, but making something out of oil, refining the oil and creating value out of this. And this is the power of data. And it's about co-creation, about working together. So I want to stay in the conversation, and thank you so much.